Are you ready to freeze to death in the winter? To eat one piece of bread a day to save money? Well, stop right there. You do not have to do that to be frugal. I think for such a long time, being frugal, being a minimalist has gotten such a bad rap, and let's talk about that today. Being frugal has not only allowed me to get into a better financial situation, but it has also given me a safety net to be better prepared for something bad that's possible to happen in the future. So in this video, I want to take you on a journey of a guy who literally lost it all and had to start again. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button. That's going to help this channel grow, and I appreciate you guys watching, so let's get started. So what do you do when you lose everything? Your job, your money, your house? Did life deal you a bad hand? Did you make an all-out gamble and bet everything on it? Well, it really doesn't matter. Regardless of what happened, where do you go from here? What do you do now? And how do you rebuild? For me, the beginning of my process was moving back home to my mother's house and trying to battle depression and figure out what I was going to do, and eventually coming up with a plan. And my course of action was researching jobs and education, the amount of time and the amount of financing it would take to launch myself a new career. I knew I didn't want to go back to school for 4 years to try to get a new job just to be in debt up to my eyeballs and have to pay that back for the next 20 or 30 years. So I found a technical school. And with the research that I did, I found that within 9 months, I could get a halfway decent paying job and really not be in debt hardly at all. And of course, a lot happened in that period of 9 months, but let's fast forward a little bit and get to where we're going a little bit quicker. Because the main focus in this video is not just that I got a job, a decent paying job. The big thing is, even if I'm getting paid well, how much of that money am I going to be able to keep? Now, let me repeat that. How much money am I going to keep? This is a big theme in the rest of my life from this point on. It's not only about how much I can make, how much I can actually gross and net, but actually really keep. And when I finally got this understanding, this has opened a whole new world about how I can use that money to invest in more things and actually make my money work for me. So how are we going to keep this money? Whatever it is we make, how are we going to keep it? Now, we have to understand budget, and we really want to look at what the average cost is for a person living today. And we spend about 33% of our money on housing, about 17% on transportation, and about 13% on food. Now, these are our big items, our big expenditures, and all of that comes to about 63%. So you're literally left with about 37% that you have to play with. And that's not counting insurance, clothing, entertainment, and all these things that you might want to be able to experience in life. So in this video, I want to share with you a few things that you can do to actually keep some of that money that you're working so hard for, and hopefully make that money work for you. So one of our biggest things is housing. 33% of our money is going to housing. Are there any tricks that you can do to save money on housing? Now, as far as anything that you do, no matter what it is you decide to do, what you were going to pay in housing, you need to take this and put it into a savings for an investment opportunity. And this is what I did. So the first thing that you can do to make this as easy as possible, as basic as possible, is exactly what I did. I moved back home with my mother. And if you can do this and start saving whatever you would normally be paying in housing, think about the amount of cost that you're saving yourself, and you're going to be able to take that money and invest in the future. If that's not an option, if you cannot move back home with family, friends, what have you, think about house hacking. One of the ways that you can do a house hack is by buying a duplex, live in one side, and rent out the other side for about the amount that you would be paying on the mortgage. Now, the good thing about this is yes, it's an investment property, but since you're living there, you're going to be able to get a loan for about 3.5%, as opposed to what I've had to do when I actually bought an investment property, purchased a duplex myself, and I had to put a down payment of 20 to 25% down. So imagine that, 3.5% down versus 20 to 25% down. That's a lot of cost savings that you can take and put it into another investment property. And this is what you're looking to do. I've done my own share of house hacking, and it's a little bit different. I have a relative that owns some properties, and they were looking for somebody who could do some odd jobs, mowing, things like that. And in turn, I'm able to live in a property rent-free. Now, however, I do pay taxes. I take care of the property. This is also with the understanding that in the future, I will be able to purchase this property. So for the time being, the only thing that I'm paying for is taxes, utilities, etc. And I can take the money that I'm saving with that and put it into investment is exactly what I'm doing. So that's my version of my house hack currently. So that leads us into food. How in the world are you going to save money on food? Well, you don't have to eat, right? Just kidding. One of the biggest things that you're going to find in food is you're going to have brand names and you're going to have store name items. So what you're going to find is, if you start doing price comparisons, is that brand name items are going to be at least 25 to 50% or more expensive than store named items. So let's, for instance, you go to Kroger, maybe you're buying Chef Boyardee versus the Kroger brand of that product. There's going to be a big, huge price difference. So what you're looking to do, like everything else, you have your budget, what you would normally pay, and your savings themselves, you take that and you're looking to invest that. Put that off to the side and invest that. You're going to cut hundreds, if not thousands of dollars off of your grocery budget every year just with this one little trick. You should always look for items that are on sale, items that are 10 for $1, things like that. If you're good at couponing, which I'm not, but some people are very good at that, and you can buy anything from food to personal hygiene products for a huge discount. So there's even more savings there. One of the big things that I do during the summer is I have a garden. Now this doesn't seem like a big deal or anything like that, but just this past year, I was able to grow over 150 pounds of tomatoes just in a 15 by 20 area in my yard. Now that's not even my whole garden. This is just a side section of my house that I put a tomato bed in, and I was able to grow this. Now, why tomatoes? Well, we love eating salsa. We like spaghetti, so we've learned to make our own salsa. We've learned to make our own spaghetti sauce. You can freeze tomatoes so you can make chili over the winter with it. So there's a lot of things that you can do with just that. So if you eat tomatoes anyway, think about the price that you pay at the store during the summer, and then what you can actually freeze and keep for the winter, and how much money that's going to save you. So just by taking that time to make a garden, you're going to save even more money. Take that, put that off to the side. Besides that, I always like to look for other items that if I can grow it and freeze it, store it, then all the better. And one of those items was zucchini. And I believe we were able to grow about 40 pounds of zucchinis where we could freeze it, make zucchini bread, different types of soup, and things like that. So this is what you're going to see about being frugal. In no way am I starving to death. It's just having a better understanding of how I can save money in certain areas and put that towards something else that's going to help me grow financially. Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. I still have a lot to talk about on this subject, so make sure you stick around because there will be a part 2 to this. But I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe because that's going to help this channel grow. And I appreciate you watching. See you guys next time.